Hey, welcome everybody to the Dave Burgess Consulting Incorporated Facebook Live. We are here for another book birthday. We love book birthdays. And I have a very special guest, and that is Lainie Rowell. Lainie, how are you doing today?
I am over the moon. I am so happy, and thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. So Lainie is one of our Impress authors. Impress is one of the imprints of DBC Inc., and she's the author of Evolving with Gratitude. Fantastic book. If you don't have Evolving with Gratitude, make sure you get that. But we are actually here today for a whole new reason, and that is that she has a new release. Before we get to the new release, please, if you are watching, if you're joining us, let us know you're here. Throw your name into the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. We would love to see who's here with us today and interact with you a little bit. But so, Lainie, I'm going to let you do the honors. This new project, quite exciting, quite different. And what are we releasing? What are we releasing today?
I know. Is it book birthday or is it journal birthday?
Yeah.
Because that's what we have here. We have an interactive journal, and it is called Bold Gratitude. The journal designed for you and by you, and I look forward to diving in and explaining what that even means. But I'm just so excited. Writing Evolving with Gratitude. I wanted to make sure and get the research in there, how gratitude fits into education, and then make plenty of space for those 20 educators sharing their story in there. And I knew I wasn't finished. And so I knew that something more was coming. And today we put it out into the world. I'm so excited.
That's fantastic. And we are celebrating with someone else today who is not on the call with us, but a big part of this project. And that is Allison Liu. And so maybe Lainie, if you could explain Allison's contribution to the project.
Oh, she is my partner in this. So if you recognize the name, it might be because she is the designer of the Evolving with Gratitude cover. And actually, Lauren, so good to see you. As I was doing Evolving with Gratitude and Allison was designing the cover, I kind of like gave her a wink and I said, there could be something else that comes. So as you're designing the cover, think about like, what would another cover maybe that complements it look like? And then when I finally got to the point where I would speak it out loud and say to Allison, okay, I know I want to do a universally designed gratitude journal. So would you do it with me? Because the design element of this journal is integral. So the practices are practices that I've done with kids and adults for years. And I basically put that together, and then the content goes over to her where she does her magic and she designs it in a way that is beautiful, engaging, interactive. And she actually contributed some of the practices too. So she really it's a fun story of how that process went. I'm just so thrilled. And Allison, if you're listening, thank you. I would never have done this without you.
Yeah, it's so awesome to be able to collaborate and connect with someone who has that creativity and that ability to take things that maybe are in your head, but then they know how to translate it and put it into like make that vision come to life. And so that collaboration between the two of you is super powerful, and that's always fun to do.
It was really fun to go back and forth. And if I could just tell a really quick story about part of the collaboration, Dave.
Oh wait, who's this?
Oh, there she is, Allison Liu. By the way, she is a lifelong best friend. We went to college together, sorority sisters. We have been friends for, well, this makes me just feel old, but decades. And I love her so much. Her work is exceptional. I mean, her work's been featured on the Today Show. She's a big deal.
So what you're saying is you didn't just graduate college?
I did not. I don't know. Has the Botox kicked in yet?
So by the way, Tracy Browder, thank you for being here. We have a Nick Roque from Winnipeg's here. Yesenia is here. Carly is here. Thank you so much for all of you. Lauren, thank you so much for jumping in. We really appreciate it. And it's just wonderful to have all of you here to celebrate with us. Now, so Lainie, let's dig right into this.
Yes.
Tell us, the subtitle is kind of interesting. Tell us the subtitle.
The journal designed for you and by you.
Okay, so this requires a little bit of explanation. So what do you mean by that?
That's good. So again, like one of the main goals for me was to universally design this. I wanted this to be a journal, not only for people who like to journal, but people who don't traditionally like to journal. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to provide guidance, and it'll say on the cover, I'm the gratitude guide, Allison is the artsy advisor. And so we're giving guidance along the way, but the whole thing is about choice. So any activity, we're like, well, you could do this, or you could do this, or you could do this. I mean, we're trying to give so many options for people. And even in the very beginning of the journal, we talk about, you don't have to stay in the journal. If you're not feeling like physically writing today, pull out your phone or your device and record a video or record an audio, draw it in the journal or somewhere else. And so it's really exciting for me to, like I said, I know I keep saying this universally designed, but that was the big thing for me. And then Allison, with her art background, she really had this brilliant idea, like, let's really make it accessible, not just to adults. Let's make it accessible to, as young as tweens and even younger if it's done with an adult or with a little bit of guidance. And so that was her brilliant idea. I love it. And then another thing that Allison, from her creative perspective, did is she just brought in so many different ways that people could express in a more artistic way if they didn't feel like doing it in a traditional handwriting kind of way.
Yeah, I love that. That's a super wonderful part of it. And I think so journals tend towards two directions, I think. And I believe, hopefully, what I think you've done is kind of made it the best of both. So journals tend to lead, either you get a journal and you open it and it is filled with 150 blank pages and there's like no structure to it whatsoever, or you get a journal and it's maybe overly prescriptive and you're like, well, but I don't want to do that. And this is maybe something that's in between where you have some prompts and some different possibilities, but yet there's also a lot of open-ended choice. So you're not just getting something that's just blank pages, and you're not getting something where you feel tied down and locked into doing one particular thing.
100%. In fact, even Allison just said that. That was a jinx. She said it in the chat. 100%. Tons of choice here. So what we did is, and I have bought every gratitude journal, anything to do with gratitude and reflection and journaling. I have about 50 journals on my bookcase right now because I did the research. Like, what do I think people would like? What do I think they wouldn't? And then I've been beta testing actually with people who didn't even know they were beta testing. I'm a consultant for Orange County Department of Ed. We have an assistant soup meeting that happens like every couple months. And I do a welcoming inclusion activity and an optimistic closure with them. And at the end of the year, I was like, you've been beta testing Bold Gratitude. Thank you so much. And it was really, really fun. So let me just tell you, one of my favorite things, this came from the collaboration of Allison and I, where we have all these different activities. So I don't have the actual book. This is my little printed, so it's a little bit tinier. But we have all these activities. You can go to the back, work backwards, skip around. You can do it in any order you want. There's no dates in here. There are guided practices. There are fill in the blanks. There's activities that encourage you to be creative. And there's just so many more things. One of my favorite things that happened when Allison got to the design part and I had given her the gratitude prompts for a more, we have activities, but if you want to do more of a free write, we do have some gratitude prompts. And Allison's like, well, how much room are we going to leave for the prompts? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to dictate that anyone. I want them to write one sentence if they want. I want them to write 2 pages if they want. So what we did, this beautiful compromise, and it's not going to do it justice in here, but what we did is at the end of each section, we have these prompts, probably not coming through in there, and they're pick whichever one you want. You can cut it out, you can rewrite it, but we have these blank pages that follow. And you just glue or rewrite it, and you can go in whatever you want. You can use as much space as you want, really trying to build in as much flexibility as possible.
Yeah, and so I think that is something to really emphasize. This is something that you're not reading it and setting it down. This is something you're going to actually get into, hands-on work, right in. In fact, as we were discussing before going live, The paper quality was chosen to be, it's a thicker paper quality than a typical book, something that you can feel like you're going to be able to get a pen out and write in it. Um, and the whole idea is, like, some people, like, I'm someone who I'm nervous about folding the page down in a book. Like, I'm not a page folder. I mark things.
Yeah.
And like, I have, like, books are like this pristine thing to me, but this is not meant to be that at all. This is something that you are going to destroy through the course of using it, and destroy in the best possible connotation of that word. You're going to create something that is entirely your own and unique and different, and just get right in there and write right into it.
Well, and I would add, if you want to. Now, if you're someone that the idea of cutting things out of your book is just anxiety, no, you don't have to. You don't.
A little bit.
I know. And we actually say that literally in the journal. We say, if this gives you stress thinking about doing this, don't do it. Do this instead. So we're constantly giving options. I think Allison believes this too, that some people will take it to the level of, this is like a scrapbook. And some people will use it more traditionally, where they will typically write. But we do give at the beginning suggested materials if you want to lean into the creative, artistic. You don't have to. I would describe it as, I'm the stick figure, Allison's the Picasso. Like, it's for anything in between there. You do not have to be artistic, but if you want to like zhuzh it up a little bit, like, get sticky notes in different colors, get colored pencils and crayons, use water-based markers, not so much the permanent markers, because those seep through just about anything. Scissors, washi tape, glue sticks, novelty erasers, like, just make it fun. And so that's definitely, it's an upbeat gratitude journal. I would say that for sure.
Yeah. So I lean towards the person who, when I see someone fold a page down to bookmark, like, I hear the page scream.
Okay.
Like, I
We've
hear
got
the book.
something for you, Dave. We've got something for you. One of the activities, contribution by Allison, is how to make an origami bookmark, a corner bookmark.
I'm an origami fan, so this is already perking me up.
There you go. So you don't like to fold your pages? Get out a piece of paper, get a Post-it. My kids love doing these. In fact, they did one this morning. I was taking them to camp. They had new books, and my son, who's 9 years old, said, I need a new bookmark. And we just busted out square piece of paper, 6x6 if you want, it can be smaller. And we just did the origami bookmark in just a couple minutes before I took him off to camp. And he's like so happy.
All right. I'm all in for the origami bookmark.
That was Allison's idea. If I didn't say that already.
No, I love it, Allison. Thank you for adding that in for us people with page bending anxieties. That's fantastic. So what I think is going to be super fun about this, Lainie, is seeing all the different ways that people choose to use it, right? And because of the flexibility that's built into it and the creative elements, it's going to be really fun. So when you get bold gratitude, be sure to use that hashtag.
Yes.
Tag us, put bold gratitude hashtag in there. Take a shot of your page. Let us see what it is that you're doing with this and how you're using it. And then I think I could see like a whole sort of little community be built where people are sharing, and then you're going to see what other people are doing and go like, oh my God, I never even thought of using it that way. I'm going to do that too. And I think there's going to be some good collaboration that happens in the hashtag. I
would love that. I think this is a journal that would be so fun to share how it's being used. So I really do hope that's a brilliant idea. I do hope people take you up on that. And, not only just even for themselves, but I know that some people are really excited about using this with their kids, not only their students, but actually their own children at home, and making it like a family experience. And so I really would love to hear all about that, especially because, we were designing it thinking tween and above, but like I said, my son's 9 years old. He's been doing all the activities. All the activities are tested by kids and adults. And I just think it would be really fun to see how people get creative and put their own spin on things.
See, Tracy, we're on the same wavelength right here. I love it. So awesome. we're thinking the same way. I love that. And so you said something that I think is really super interesting. So not only are you going to be able to use this personally, you're out there watching this right now, you're going to be able to get ideas and things that you can use if you're a teacher, you can use in your classrooms. And then look at this from Lauren right here too. I'm going to use many of these activities with teachers in my staff meetings. Like, whoa, this is like super versatile. You're going to be able to use it in lots of different ways.
Please do. The art, the design, there's meditation in there, the origami. Like these are all things that could be done, like you said, personally, professionally, with staff, with students, with family members. I do that all the time.
Yeah. So, by the way, if you're wondering, well, why aren't they holding this book up and showing us? Well, I'll tell you why. You are so getting the beginnings of this, like we don't even have it yet. We don't have the copy yet in our hands, and so yeah, we're going to be as excited to see it as you are. And soon you'll be seeing the standard picture of me like holding the book on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and Lainie too, I'm sure. But there's a decent chance. Get on there, order it now. You might be getting your book the same time that we get ours.
Maybe before, but yes. Depends on how close you are to a distribution center, I think. But yeah, I'm so excited to get my hands on it. Mine arrives on Friday. It's Wednesday right now, so I gotta wait a couple days. But
couple days, and all right, that's fantastic. So if you're watching, you're in the chat, you have any questions about this, feel free to pop them in there and we'd be happy to answer. Maybe Lainie, would you do us like a little random thing here and take your sample that you have and just kind of open up somewhere and give us a sense of something that we might find when we get inside.
Okay, it's a little funny, but okay, this is one of, gosh, there's so much I love in here. Okay, so these are little thank you slips that you can color, decorate, and then just take them out into the world and give them to the nice server that delivers your salad, or the person who helps you at the grocery store, or anything like that. I want to say really quickly, the book is divided into sections. So gratitude for happiness, gratitude with my peeps, and gratitude with the world. So the first section really focuses on, being reflective and how can I think about the things that I'm grateful for. Not that it's always about that. We do acknowledge there are difficult things, but really focusing on building that grateful disposition. And then the second one, where it's gratitude with my peeps, it's all of these ways that we can really level up relationships, improve those relationships. And then, so it is a little bit, it's a kind of aligned to evolving with gratitude in that way, that it's like improve your well-being, nurture relationships. And then the third section is, gratitude with the world. So there's a template in there for leaving an online review of a service. So I do this with my kids. When we go somewhere and something goes really well, we're like, you should get on Yelp and leave a nice 5-star review because these people are doing such great work for us. And so there's a little template in there that you can fill out just so you don't have to think from scratch. And then, yeah, that's the goal of it. Flood the brain with happiness chemicals, build that grateful disposition, level up those relationships, and then also make the world a legit better place. That's what we're trying for.
Yeah, I love that example about the reviews because it's so typical that when people go to a site like Yelp, it's because usually they're upset about something. That's what motivates them to go there, is like, I'll show these people, like, they don't mess my meal up or whatever it might be. That's when a lot of people go to Yelp. And so when you go to some of these review sites because of something great that happened to you, some positive experience, just has so much impact and puts so much good vibes into the universe.
Yes, we want to put that positivity out there. And it is, this is something that has come over, we're celebrating a year of evolving with gratitude being out. One of the things that really resonated with people was talking about that negativity bias and how we do have to work to overcome that. And so that's what we're working on. How do we overcome that negativity bias, put the good stuff out in the world, do it with our peeps, and also for ourselves, build that grateful disposition. Oh, thanks.
Hey, look, we have Mickey Smith Jr. popping in here to say hello. Of Keep On Going.
Yes.
Fame. That's right. Wonderful children's book. Got another book coming with Mickey soon. Great speaker. Sax player extraordinaire. So yes, when gratitude is bold, it's absolute gold. That sounds like
I love that.
Right, yeah, love it. Lainie, I want to go back to something which I kind of put a little mental bookmark on that you said earlier. you said something about a welcoming and I believe you said the phrase opportunistic closure.
Yeah, so I do every meeting, every workshop, every session that I do with kids or adults, I always use Castle's 3 signature practices: welcoming inclusion activity, engaging strategies, and optimistic closure. All 3 of those are in here. And
Those are
so
embedded into bold gratitude.
that's just that's just how I am. That's how I run things. So, you can pull any of these things out and turn them into a welcoming inclusion activity, an engaging strategy, or an optimistic closure. So I will say you can overdo it on gratitude. So just a mental note that I remind myself is I wouldn't do all 3 as gratitude practices. But when I'm getting a group together, I love to do welcoming inclusion activity, engaging strategies, and optimistic closure. And I make one of them gratitude.
Fantastic. I love it. So
Yeah.
here we are, book birthday, bold gratitude. Get over there to Amazon today, pick up this journal. Most importantly, use this journal, and it's going to have an impact in your life and get your energies directed in a great way. If you haven't read Evolving with Gratitude from Lainie, her first project with Impress, make sure you go grab that too. This would be a great little pair. Get Evolving with Gratitude to read, and then bold gratitude to do your journaling, and you would have a power pack combination right there.
And I just have to say a huge and this is not just to be on brand. Like, I cannot tell you, it has been such a blessing to be working with Impress and DBC. And I've had the best experience. I'm so grateful to all of you, Dave, Tara. I know I'm going to start naming names and then leave people out. Obviously, George brought me into because of a teacher, and that kind of led to this. That was, one of the inspirations for this. And then I really have to give a huge shout out to Paige Kuros. She is holding my hand this entire process. Like, I'm a bit of a nervous Nelly, especially when it comes to like right before the book or the journal launches. And she has been by my side since day one, all along the way. And then, poor thing, there's been a lot of texting the last week. So I adore the Impress, the DBC family. I'm so grateful for all of you. Obviously, Allison, wouldn't have done this without you. And I'm just so, so thankful.
Well, no project comes to the finish line without a lot of people and a lot of hands in there, and some things behind the scenes that people don't know, all the different moving parts that are happening along the way, and last minute decisions and changes and all those things. And so with your first book that came out, you kind of kicked off a pandemic, and then your second book, a tree fell and completely destroyed the editing team's house. And so this has been pretty smooth, actually.
Yes, no one got hurt. And yes, I am very grateful. No houses were hurt. This is, yes, we are doing good with bold gratitude. And I feel like putting a book out there is a little bit like putting a wedding on. There's so many things that happen leading up to the release or the event that people don't know. And you're just, I just hope everyone comes and has a great time and gets all the goodness out of this journal. I think it's really, really powerful, and I'm so excited. I'm just like I had a little bit of caffeine today. Normally I don't drink caffeine. That was probably not a wise move because I'm already like super amped, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, if you get to the point where you're like me and you drink hundreds and hundreds of ounces of Diet Coke a day, like a little bit of caffeine doesn't do anything. It's just all the same. This is like a constant thing for me. Like, it's just in my blood. It's like a drip IV.
That's a lot. Yeah, no, it's a little bit goes a long way with me.
Yeah. By the way, Nick, we're super glad that you're not getting Play-Doh all over your keys. And so we understand your limited comment due to this. But the fact that you're using the Play-Doh activity, which is a classic part of Teach Like a Pirate, makes me happy.
Yes. Oh,
All right.
Yep. I'm so excited. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everyone. And everyone in the chat and that joined. I'm super, super grateful.
Yeah, we really appreciate all of you being here to celebrate with us and to congratulate Lainie. And now, next step, go grab it. And please, when it arrives, there's nothing that we love more than to see you with the new book, in this case, journal. And then, if you want to let us let us take a little peek into what you're doing with it too. You don't have to do anything, show us anything too personal, but show us a little peek about how you're using it. That would be fantastic. But oh man, selfies with books as they arrive into the Bold Gratitude hashtag is like, we are all about that. We'll be sure to comment, share, and we just really, really appreciate all of you for the support. So thank you for joining us on a Wednesday evening, little impromptu, last minute, like, oh my gosh, the book is live, let's go moment for Bold Gratitude. And Lainie, congratulations to you. And we're so honored to have you be a part of the team.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, friends.
Bye, everybody.